Widespread rain soaks Southern California, but the worst of the storm is still ahead. Potentially dangerous downpours are expected tomorrow. It's forcing recent burn scar areas to be on alert for possible evacuation. Welcome to the Fox 11 News at 5, simulcast on Fox 11 Plus. I'm Christine Devine.
I'm Alex Michelson. Team coverage on this winter storm. Haley Winslow and Laura Diaz are in burn areas where there are fears of flooding and mudslides.
We begin with Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger tracking rain falling right now.
Hey there, guys. Yeah, there is no question that we've got heavy rain coming tomorrow. It's a lock. But right now, we just see the light rain. That was to be expected. More of a nuisance rain through the day today. So radar shows these scattered light showers drifting through. It's only amounting to a couple hundredths of an inch here and there. So that is okay. We can certainly handle that much rain. But we've got rain coming tomorrow. That's when the flood watches kick in, and that's when a couple of inches could fall. And the rain rates may be as high as about 1 inch per hour at times tomorrow. There may even be a few thunderstorms, which, of course, could produce some bursts of heavy rain as well. So there's a high risk that we get some roadway flooding and possibly those mudslides and debris flows around the burn scars for tomorrow. In a little bit closer on radar right now, it's not like there's one specific spot really to point out. Again, you just see these kind of scattered light showers mixed all across the area. The heavy stuff starts up potentially tomorrow morning. The timeline has bumped up ahead a little bit sooner now. That's one of the changes compared to what we saw the day before. So now the flood watches start at 10 a.m. And by the way, this territory right here, which would include Los Angeles off towards the northwest, that's a flash flood watch, and then this is just a regular flood watch. Basically, though, we're expecting the same type of heavy rain to sweep through. Both of these start at 10 a.m. That flood watch for the LA area expires at 10 p.m. tomorrow, but it goes all the way until 4 a.m. around the Inland Empire down through Orange County and south. That expires 4 a.m. on Friday. All right, now potential rain totals. Again, we talked about those light amounts for today. Look what happens as we tack on what's coming tomorrow. And I think we'll already start to see some moderate to heavy rain at times tomorrow morning, but it really ramps up, I'd say specifically from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. tomorrow. Keep that time frame in mind. And then again, 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow night, a lot of the heavy stuff will start passing by to the east. It'll all move from west to east across our area. But the rain totals on average will probably end up between 1 inch to 3 inches. That's going to be very common. And again, it's not just that we're seeing this much rain, but the fact that we're getting it at times pretty quickly is what gives us that concern for some flooding. And all the way out, for example, towards Palm Springs, we're looking at about 1 inch of rain. Up into the desert, Lancaster, maybe 1 inch as well. And then in the mountains, that's where the heaviest rain totals will be. We could find some spots there getting more than 3 inches out of this whole event. And then on Friday, there's still some light scattered rain lingering. But again, the bulk of this is really tomorrow, starting up in the morning, but the heaviest tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. We'll walk you through that on future casts, kind of map it out hour by hour coming up a little bit later. But for now, back to you.
All right, we'll be following you. Thank you much. Orange County residents, listen up. Evacuation warnings for the areas near the airport fire burn scar go into effect tomorrow morning at 8. There is concern. Heavy rain could trigger mud and debris flows. Impacted areas do include Trabuco Canyon, Hot Springs Canyon, Bell Canyon, Long Canyon, Majeska Canyon. Officials urge residents to stay alert and prepare to leave if conditions worsen.
The County of Orange has put out the evacuation warning, which is a perfect time for a community to assess their needs, and if they need to start evacuating now, possibly due to family members with special needs or large animals, whatever the case may be, this is the perfect time to start planning that exit.
Again, Orange County evacuation warnings go into effect tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
In LA County, evacuation orders are now in place for the following areas, beginning at 7 a.m. tomorrow to 2 p.m. Friday due to high mudslide and debris flow risk. They are the Getty Villa area, Highlands near the burn areas, Bienvenida near Temescal Canyon Park, Reseda Boulevard area, Marinette Road near Will Rogers State Park, and Mandeville Canyon. More info on foxla.com. We have a map there as well. A storm is hitting Southern California, and crews are racing to protect the region from dangerous mudslides. Public and private teams working to keep those hillsides safe. Fox 11's Haley Winslow spent the day in the burn areas. She joins us live from Malibu with the latest. Haley.
Alex, those rain rates not what residents want to hear. We're already getting a little bit of a waterfall, not the kind that would normally attract people to this gem that is normally Malibu. People preparing for the worst rain yet to come. A light rain wets PCH as workers brace for the storm. A Caltrans plow clears mud from the road.
Well, you see, look at how high the mud is on this side.
While water trickles down the side of a cliff. And up on a Malibu hillside, workers use a chainsaw to clear debris from a backyard.
Lluvia mañana. Sí, a lot.
prepping for a lot more rain tomorrow.
We're cleaning the hill because tomorrow is gonna rain a lot, and we don't want the mud go down to the beach.
It's a big job.
Yeah, it is.
How long will it take you?
Well, we're gonna stay here until we finish.
Oh my gosh, be here all night.
Yeah.
They try to protect the hillside with these barriers and a covering called a coconut blanket.
When you have a wildfire, you get a lot of ash all over that hillside. It makes it hydrophobic, so it doesn't absorb water the same way on the hill.
LA's Emergency Operations Center has boots on the ground in mudslide-prone places ready to respond. The problem spots, the wildfire burn scar areas. Within city limits, Pacific Palisades, Malibu, Silmar after the Hearst fire, and Hollywood Hills from the Sunset fire, which is why the city's EOC is calling for evacuation warnings and orders.
Our concerns are target hazards underneath a steep hillside that was recently burned, meaning are there homes with people inside?
Driving around Malibu and the Palisades are mostly abandoned.
It's pretty eerie. Sometimes it's hard to just wrap your head around it, just to the level of how much destruction there is. It's pretty hard to just kind of comprehend it until after the fact, at least from my perspective.
Of course, those problem places go far beyond the city limits to include Altadena, Orange County, Wrightwood, and other burn scar areas throughout our region. Now, LAPD is going to go door to door, making sure that everybody got the message in those high-risk areas and make sure that nobody's home. By the way, those workers had a really hard time getting in here to try to protect what's left of that property, that hillside. They've had a really hard time getting through because they don't have the proper address to show that they've been working on that property for years and years. Reporting live here in Malibu, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.
Uncertain times, Haley, thank you. Fox 11's Laura Diaz live in Pasadena on Altadena fire line with how residents there are preparing. Laura?
Yes, Christine and Alex, call it disaster fatigue. These are people who survived the fire. They've been through the very toughest days of their lives. And now with this amount of rain expected to hit Southern California in less than 24 hours, they're extremely worried that now they will have to try to escape mud flow. As you can imagine, they are very exhausted and worried. At the intersection of Hastings Ranch Drive and Ranch Top Road in Pasadena, an engine from Glendale Fire watches guard over a fire-ravaged neighborhood. With an atmospheric river on the way, on the heels of the catastrophic Eaton Canyon wildfire, neighbors in the fire zone are anxious.
Been away for almost since January 7, and we didn't know. We just didn't know.
So you're evacuated, and now you've got the storm coming?
The storm is coming too, and then, you know.
The greatest threat is the fear of massive amounts of debris, some of it hazardous, flowing off denuded hillsides and sliding into homes, burying people and property. Before the heavy rain started, first responders sprang into action Wednesday. Fox 11 cameras recorded heavy equipment clearing a debris basin, sandbags and K-rails, all measures designed to divert dangerous mud flow.
We will be monitoring for the next 48 hours, so we hope to give time for people to get ready with a warning and then a mandatory evacuation, but we need the public to be ready to go.
I felt the heat coming really hot on the right side of my body.
For Antonio Antonetti, a courageous Altadena man who saved his home and some of his neighbors in the explosive January fire, the rain is yet another enemy seeking to take out his property. This afternoon, he covered his home with tarp. He got no help with sandbags, even though homes burned to the ground in the neighborhood had them. He's a man who deserves a break.
I'm hoping that it's not going to be the point where this is going to completely flood, because if that happens, then the disaster is going to be, it's going to double or triple.
Coming back live here in Pasadena near Altadena, where this neighborhood, some homes survived, others did not. You get an example of that when you look at this tree. We're going to pan off and show you, we told you about the manpower that's gone into today to try to prevent another tragedy. Well, if you look over my shoulder there, those are cameras that have been set up by the LA Public Works folks. So they're not only using manpower, they're using everything they can in their arsenal, which includes high tech to try to monitor and to keep people safe. I'm Laura Diaz reporting live from Pasadena, sending it back to the studio.